Run like the plague, they said. Beware buying a cheap W140, they said. So yes, against all common sense, I purchased this 1992 400 SEL back in October of 2022. Stay tuned for my ownership report so far. Welcome to another episode of EG's Garage, and today we'll be doing a video on my recently acquired W140. So as you can see, this is the long wheelbase. It's a brilliant silver with blue leather interior. As you can see, it's in really good condition as well. This is another high mileage car too. This one has just over 350,000 kilometers, and as a matter of fact, the speedometer is actually sorry, not the speedometer. The odometer has actually stopped. I'm led to believe that it only recently stopped, so I've probably put another 5,000 k's on it so far, and yeah, so we're probably talking about 360,000 kilometers. But again, you know, this is where you can see this car. This car looks like it's been garaged most of its life. Now, the elephant in the room, I can tell, is the wheels. So these are, pretty sure these are just an imitation Maybach wheel. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of these wheels on this car. I kind of like the way the 20-inch wheel fits this car. As much as I'd like to keep cars as, you know, original as possible, I just do feel that 16-inch wheels, they kind of look like casters on a big car like this. This does drive pretty nice with these wheels and tyres. So yeah, let's just take a look under the bonnet. So here is the engine bay of the W140. So the 400 SEL has a 4.2 litre V8, which is the M119 designated engine code for this particular motor. Those of you that know these engines, I know it's a sort of overused term, but they're bulletproof. They're very strong and reliable and designed to go for many hundreds of thousands of kilometres. This particular example, the previous owner had all these, I don't know, plastic strips for some reason. I'm not sure why. They looked pretty ridiculous, and so that was one of the first things. And I think that even this was painted on. If someone could tell me actually how these came out of the factory, I'm pretty sure this was as it is. But as far as the lettering here, I'm pretty sure it was just black. So if someone could just let me know down in the comments. I've seen them without paint, and I'll try and remove all that just to make it look as nice as possible. So far, since I've owned the vehicle, I've had quite a number of things repaired. So new belts. We had a leaking windscreen washer. This car came to me with full service history as well, and the reason I bought it was because I was confident enough that the wiring harness had been changed at some point in its life. So this, when I took it in for service recently, you got a full oil change, etc. And this is what I was. These are the items that we got repaired. So here we are in the interior of the 400 SEL. As you can see, gauge cluster is very clear and clean. Apologies for the reflections, but I'm just currently outside in the bright sun here, and yeah, but so as you can see, it's very clear. So again, one of the things in this car, which took me about 2 weeks to clean up, and again, for the life of me, I really don't understand why anyone would subject a beautiful vehicle like this to it. But the previous owner had all these like fake wood grain pieces stuck everywhere. So I'm talking about here. So as you can see, that's original. It's stuck here. Pretty sure there was some there. The steering wheel, you can still see how it's kind of damaged a bit, but there was fake like wood-clad steering wheel cover thing. Where else was it? It was pretty much in a few different places, like even just over there at the covering of the air vent, that had some in there. And like this revision mirror was completely broken, so when I went and picked it up from the depot, this thing here was flopping around, so I ended up fixing it. Now I literally just packed, I don't know, about 1 kilo of glue behind this. Surprisingly, it still works. So just change it. So it still actually works, which is amazing. Even it doesn't really go up or down, but it just goes sideways, which is fine. I'm the only one that drives this car, so that's all good. Stereo doesn't work, so that's another project that we'll do during the year. Desperate to get some tunes in this car. Nice big console in there. Pretty much everything works in this car, which is amazing. So, and another thing that I have to get fixed is this switch. That's another common item that needs to get done, is that switch. So that will be something that we'll do during the year. Just check out the back seat now. Here is the business end of the W140. This is obviously where this car really shines. I mean, look at this. Like, you know, it just beckons to be, you know, for you to be chauffeured around in this thing. I mean, it's just unbelievable. The leg room in there. Those little, I don't know what they are, foot rests or whatever they are. They're original with the car, I presume. But a pretty amazing place to be. First aid kit is still in place. Completely useless, but still in place. And they're the pieces that I was talking about before. I haven't got to remove this one. I had such a bastard of a time trying to remove those ones. As you can see, they're here too, because that's the original. That's the fake. Like I said, and I just don't understand why you would do that to a beautiful car like this. But anyway, to each his own. So, if the previous owner's watching, well done for keeping this car in such great condition over the years. But anyway, so here we go. That's the back of the W140 long wheelbase. Driving my 1992 400 SEL W140. Just put the AC on. It's pretty warm here today in Sydney. One thing that that V8 has got some get up and go, that's for sure. So the one thing that really is amazing with this car is the quietness. I can't, unless you've actually owned or driven one of these S-classes, the double glazed windows and obviously all the other soundproofing that is put on these cars is just absolutely amazing. And I guess that's not a surprise, because that's why you pay the money that you do for these big saloons, is to be driven in absolute smoothness and quietness. And so that's where these cars definitely excel. So one of the issues, I guess, when I first got this car was there was a lot of shuddering, particularly at high speed, which obviously is not a great thing. Turns out that the vehicle needed some wheel balancing, and there were some rubber components that we got changed out as well. So that's made a huge difference. There still seems to be some like shuddering, just a tiny bit, but I'm told that that's the suspension shock, the steering shock, and I've actually got the part number for that, so I've just got to go get that, and then my mechanic will install that for us. That should make another huge difference, or leap, leap in how this car feels. So for a 30-year-old car, this vehicle just drives really quite unbelievably smoothly, and I attribute that to the ongoing maintenance. I don't think there's a lot of deferred maintenance in this car. And this is where, if you're looking to buy a W140, you most definitely want to buy one with service records that are fairly extensive throughout its life. Obviously, ones, there's holes in it in terms of large, or say years where the service hasn't been done. Then I'd probably not. I wouldn't buy the car. So that really is the moral of the story of these cars. And at the start of the video, people were, as I said, people were telling me to run like the plague, and I'm a very brave person to buy one. Well, here's the jig, guys. If that's the feeling towards cars like this, then I would say to you that as a contrarian, there's definitely a buying opportunity, because if you're smart about it and you buy a car that that you've had looked over and are comfortable with the service history I mean, provenance is another thing. So I mean, I know that this is a Sydney car, or has been a Sydney car since day dot. Hasn't sort of fallen in the hands of someone that hasn't looked after the car. So all of these things point towards, you know, a car that has been looked after, and that's obviously a very important part of owning a classic Mercedes. So there we have it, guys. There's my ownership report for the last 3 to 4 months of this car. I'm definitely holding on to this car. I was recently in traffic the other week, just before Christmas, and I had some young guy offer me some money for the car, and I turned it down because, quite honestly, I do love the car. It's on historic rego, so I get to drive it 60 days on non-club events. For those of you that are familiar with the way the historic rego works in Australia, or in New South Wales. So yeah, so that's it. So another video on one of my other cars will be coming up shortly, so stay tuned. Many thanks to those that have subscribed to the channel. We're only new, so and of course I'm still a bit rusty with doing these videos, so bear with me. I'm very eager to engage with other like-minded owners of Mercedes cars worldwide, and I look forward to sharing with you more content very soon. Thank you.